Good morning, Brian. Thanks for chatting with me today about feedback, a topic you'll be expanding on at the VSCPA Professional Development Conference in October. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good. Thank you, Tina.
As an executive leadership coach, I'm sure the topic of corporate feedback comes up often, and I know you're pretty passionate about this topic. Why is feedback so important at work?
Yeah, so if you think about it, as individuals, we're really limited by what we can see in the world. And there's a lot of information, a lot of observations that others make about us that we are just not aware of. And we close that gap through feedback. The information that's out there that we're not aware of, that's a blind spot. And our blind spots can really hurt us in our career. If you think about it, if there's a strength that other people know about that I am not aware of, well, then I'm just not showing up as the best version I can be, and I'm limiting my own potential. On the other hand, if there's a weakness, if there are things I'm not doing well that I'm not aware of but other people are aware of, well, that can be tough. Think about it. With our weaknesses, if I know what my weaknesses are, maybe I can work around them, maybe I can try to limit them a little bit, maybe I can work with someone who can complement me, but it's those weaknesses that I'm not aware of that can derail a career. So without feedback, we're kind of blind.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I know that you say the feedback loop at organizations is broken. What does that mean?
Well, that just means that most organizations say that it's broken. If I ask someone in an organization who's in charge of feedback or an appraisal process, when I ask them about it, there's usually a little bit of pain in their answer. They shrug their shoulders or they kind of roll their eyes. Whatever the objective was that they set up in creating their feedback system, they're usually not hitting it.
So can you give an example of maybe exactly how a feedback loop might get broken?
Yeah, I think most organizations, they get the feedback process wrong. They focus so much on how are we going to deliver the tough feedback that our people need. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll send people to training so that they'll learn a little bit more about the mechanics of how do you deliver tough feedback to people. And that might be great, and there might be incremental improvements there, but think about it. Who are the people that are in charge of making improvements in their career? It's really the performer. And because of that, I think we kind of get the feedback loop backwards. Instead of focusing so much of our time on delivering feedback, we really need to focus more time on how are people receiving feedback. Tina, you can create the best feedback for me. You might have examples, you might have details, you might have clarity, it might be very timely, but if I'm not going to listen to your feedback, all your great feedback won't even matter. On the other hand, you might have some really poor feedback for me. It might be ambiguous, it might not be timely at all. But if I'm open, if I'm listening, even though your feedback might be poor, I might be able to gain something out of it. More importantly, I might be able to do or act on it in ways that will help my team or my career go forward. So it's really about focusing on the receiving of the feedback, the performer, the one who's going to take charge in actually using the feedback, instead of focusing all of our time on the actual deliverer of the feedback. When an organization prioritizes receiving feedback, especially when their leadership is modeling how to receive and how to solicit feedback from others, then that can really change the culture of an organization.
Awesome. Well, Brian, this is really an important topic, and the work that you've done in this area with various organizations really do help provide some valuable insight. Thanks again so much for your thoughts today, and I know I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about this topic in October.
Thank you, Tina.
All right, have a great day.
Thanks.